And we're back with another Ask ALG video.
Yes, we are, and we missed you last week.
But I saw last week's video. It was awesome. So give it up for CC holding it down while I was gone. So let's go right into today. What are we talking about this week?
Well, today we're doing something just a little different because we have several different practice areas at our law firm. So one of the biggest chunks of our practice deals with NFL disability, and we represent many retired NFL players in obtaining benefits after they're done playing. So because it is
Super Bowl weekend,
yes, we wanted to bring in one of our retired players who also happens to be my husband, Mr. Alfred Malone. Are you excited to be here?
I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Even extra excited because it is our anniversary. And how many years have we been married?
6.
Okay. All right. It took him a minute, but he got it
happy
right.
anniversary, guys.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit to the players who are on the field this weekend. We think we can give you a few tips, maybe about 3 or 4 tips that can help you streamline the process if you happen to get injured on the field, because that's what we deal with every day is retired players who have gotten injured while they're playing in the NFL. First thing that we want to talk about is you're playing in a game, of course the thrill, the fun is all in there, your adrenaline's rushing, and you get injured. Well, the first thing that we think as attorneys who represent NFL players, the first thing we would say to do is go and report that to your trainer. Is that exactly what should happen, and how does that look if you get injured on the field and you want to report to the trainer? How do you do that?
Basically just go over to them, let them know what happens. Whether it's practice, a game, more than likely, something is going to get hurt every week pretty much. So, but they want you to play through it. In a game especially, they want you to play through it. If it happens in practice, then, if it's something that could hinder you from playing in the game, then, they may pull you out of practice. But you definitely want to report it to them when it happens. But there's only 53 people playing in a game at one time, so they definitely want to try to get you to push it through that Sunday or Monday or Thursday, but they want to try to get you to push through that, and then just be sure that afterwards that you're not trying to push it through that week. You want to report to them afterwards, get treatment, and just kind of continues, kind of document what's going on. Kind of stay in treatment.
So when you report it and they are documenting this injury and you're getting treatment, are they maintaining these records, or is this something that you have access to, or how do you have the confirmation that your injury is actually being documented?
You really don't. Nobody really pays attention to that when they're playing. But once I was done and I got my records, you can see that everything that you did do and you reported and actually went in the training room for, it got reported.
So just saying something on the sideline is not enough. You have to go to the training room to make sure it's documented.
Okay. Be sure you go to the training room.
So you have to go to the training room.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not going to rely on the actual team to report that for you. You have to do it yourself, right?
Yeah. Because they're not going to, necessarily come to every player and ask, hey, are you hurt? Are you hurt? Are you hurt? And we say hurt, but there's a difference. Well, they say there's a difference between getting injured and getting hurt. So you're always going to have hurts, but if you have something that can come of something, not just something, a bruise that you can put ice on or something like that, we're talking about actual injuries, then you do want to go and report that.
And why is that important? So, is it important to them while they're playing? Is it important after they start playing? Why is that even necessary?
Well, first and foremost, you want to make sure you get better. You want to make sure that you're able to go out and perform at your highest level. And if you can't, then you don't need to be on the field. But it's actually more important after you're done playing because, there's benefits that you can get when you're done playing. But if they don't know that you've been hurt, it'll make them harder to get.
That's interesting.
Okay. So documenting is the key.
It's very important, yeah.
Okay.
And it's interesting because you see all these people on the sidelines and everyone has a clipboard and it's like, so what are you writing down?
Right.
Because if I come and I tell you something and you don't write it down.
Yeah, that's not what they're writing down.
As an onlooker, it seems like if you tell them that they're going to write it down and then you just think they do reports later, and it's like, no, you actually have to follow up and go in there and get it documented. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the difference between a hurt and an injury, that's interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because nobody remember hurt.
Nobody
remember. It's like,
That
you
is
all right?
true.
It's like, yeah, I can shake back. They're not gonna come back to you afterwards.
And say, oh, do you need to document this for you? No, they're not gonna do that.
Or do you need any help? They're not even gonna ask you if you need any help, because
You just said you're hurt.
yeah, it's 53 people
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I never would have known that, actually.
Or I even would have thought of it that way, but that does.
If you got one kid, you always check up on the one kid.
Just one?
Yeah, but if you got like 5,
Somebody goes.
you just brush them off.
Hurt is hurt.
Right.
Injury.
Yeah.
Get up off that floor. Get up. You okay? Don't play.
Good examples here. I think that's a good. Okay, so now pushing us into our second recommendation, would we be wrong in saying that you should follow up with your own primary physician or an outside doctor? Have you ever done that as after being injured?
Well, my doctor for my injuries, which he did one surgery and then he set the bone on another one, but he actually worked. He was a specialist that worked with the team.
Okay.
So the team has specialists for each body part. So a lot of times it end up being the same person, but if it doesn't seem like it's getting better, I would actually try to get a second opinion outside of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but when you're in the training room, are there doctors in there?
No.
Who's treating you when you reported your injury and you went to the training room to report it there? What do they do? Do they give you therapy? What do they do there once you report it?
Yeah, they're like PTs.
Okay.
The trainers are more like physical therapists. They just deal with the smaller stuff. If they think you need to see a doctor, then they'll send you out. If it's something that definitely that can hinder you from playing, that they're like it's unquestionable. Yeah.
Okay.
They'll hinder you from playing. They'll have you see a doctor.
And that actually hits on our third tip of
Mhm.
physical therapy and following through. So technically, you are receiving physical therapy when you go into the training room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in your opinion, you were a young player once, so did you know all of this when you were playing? Did anyone sit you down and say, hey, these are the steps, this is what you do when you get injured?
No, because coaches always, they just, I was undrafted, so they always just tell us you can't make the team in the training room. So, the thing is to always try to be on the field, play through the hurt, bounce back fast from the injuries. So, that's the only way you're gonna make money and get paid.
And one of the ways to bounce back fast from the injuries is to go get your treatment,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. So we have our 3 tips. Let's go back through them real quick so that if you're a young player playing, you want you to remember these things while you're playing and even when you're done. So the first thing is when you get injured on the field, report it. Whether you're reporting it at the time of the game or you're reporting it in practice, make sure you report it to the trainers, right?
Yep.
Number 2 is follow up with the team specialist, follow up with your outside doctor if you feel like you need a second opinion on that particular injury, and make sure that you keep the injury documented, all right?
Yeah.
And number 3 would be to continue your training so that you get better, so that you can get back out on the field and give it your all.
Yep.
Would that sum it up?
Document and follow through.
That's it. All right. So, and just so you know, you won't see us, like attorneys like us, until you're done playing. We just want to kind of help you streamline the process, make sure that you're doing the right things while you're playing, so that when you're done, you your process is a little easier for with the transition. The transition is a little easier because that's what we're trying to help you do is work through the transition, because there is a transition period, right?
Yes.
Okay. And everybody has to be done playing at some point.
Right.
Whether you're done a year after you start, 4, 5, 10, some 12, 15, 20, you still need to know what to do while you're there when it comes to protecting your body, right? And then what you need to do once you're done playing, and how do you transition from being a player to not being a player, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
No problem.
joining us today. This has been very educational.
Maybe next time we'll come, we can get some food.
We hope that you have enjoyed the video.
But yes, hopefully you have enjoyed the video. Hopefully this is informational. We'd like for you to comment, then go subscribe to our channel, turn on your post notifications so that when we drop other videos, you will be notified. And again, thank you for joining.